If you match and mirror another person's physiology and body language, you'll get a heightened level of rapport? Really? Find out in this show. Hey everyone, I'm Mike Sweet from mikesweet.co.uk, giving you the edge in business and life with NLP and psychology. All over the internet, every NLP book you read, any NLP course will talk about matching and mirroring. And the idea is if you match a person's physiology, if you match the way they sit, are they crossing their arms, are they crossing their legs, that you have a heightened level of connection and rapport. But is it really true? Does that really work? Fast answer, I'm going to say no. Absolutely not. And that's because people are doing it wrong. So let's start with where this come from, where this idea come from. And I've spoken about in another video that NLP wasn't two nutty professors sat in a room deciding what they could concoct or wanted to prove. This was a study of what people were doing. So when you study people who are in rapport and have that connection, they do in fact match a mirror. Their gestures will be similar. Their head tilts might be similar. Their nods might be similar. The pace in which they speak might be very, very similar. The way they're crossing their arms or their legs. The way they giggle almost at exactly the same time. Now this is matching and mirroring when it's in this harmonious way, when it's happening. That absolutely, when people are connected, we do very similar things, so that is indisputable. But where I have a problem with matching and mirroring and people training this as an NLP or persuasive way to gain connection is, if for a moment while you're sat with someone, thinking whilst talking, I'm going to gain a heightened level of connection, and you start mimicking, and you start crossing your arms the moment they cross theirs, or tilt your head the moment they tilt theirs, or talking nearly exactly the same tone as they do, then you can't get rapport or connection. Because what you're doing is you're not connecting. You're in your own head thinking about another process. You're trying to do two things or many things at once, and that is a surefire way to break any rapport or connection. Even people on the phone can tell when you're not really listening. So imagine what that's like when you're sat opposite someone or next to someone, and you're so in your head thinking how you can match, mimic and copy every single maneuver this person's doing to gain rapport. That's not going to work. End of. So where do you start? Because some people can use this effectively. Now, rather than be completely in your head, thinking about every arm movement, every twitch, every head turn, every arm cross, the easiest way to start this, because it definitely will work if you do it correctly, and that is to match a person's pace and volume in the way that they talk. So that's not changing the tone, that's not trying to talk like them, but if they are speaking slowly and on purpose, then also speak more, just a bit more slowly and a bit more on purpose. It'll be almost as if you're on their wavelength. As if you've just got that connection. Because it's simple to do. Now that works. The reason why I say start with this is you can use this with everyone. You can do it on the phone, you can, anywhere that there's a line of communication open, you can match a person's volume and speed in which they talk. Of course, when you've got to a connection, just be you. But this is a real great way to give you a level playing field, to let you both know that you're coming from the same place. So I'd highly advise to start there. Now, as you've probably heard and read, there are lots of ways that you can do this matching and mirroring. Another very good unconscious way is match a person's breathing. Although, be careful, because you'll probably find you'll end up looking at someone's chest, trying to watch them breathe until you get to the subtleties of watching a person's neck or facial movements. Now, breathing, when you think about matching that, it's really matching a person's energy. So, not trying to get all metaphysical on anyone, but noticing someone's breathing is a very powerful way, but not that easy to do to start off with. Again, posture, The language and the words some people use, feeding those back is a great way to match and mirror. If the person you're speaking to does use the word postulate, then if you can chuck it in a conversation in the next 2 or 3 minutes, then great stuff. It will let them feel that you're on the same wavelength. So have a little look at the ways that you can really begin to hone these skills in body language and matching and mirroring, but please do not copy and mimic, because whatever you're trying to achieve will just fall flat on its face. Now, there is another area with matching and mirroring we need to touch on, and that's mismatching. That's doing almost the opposite of what you're trying to achieve. Now, the reason we know matching works is we know that mismatching works like a charm. So while you're talking to someone and you're getting on very well, if you mismatch by just turning your body and having a look around the room while you're talking, they'll instantly know that you're mismatching and switching off. Or that's what they'll assume. Another great way to mismatch is look at your watch mid-flow while a person is talking. That really knocks them off guard. You see, when we're in communication, when we have rapport, it's almost like a dance. There's almost an expected flow or a line of communication open that we're expected to do. And a mismatch is when we do something quite different. It has the listener pause for a moment. It creates almost a mini break state where they can pause. Now, you can use mismatching effectively when you know about it if a person is rambling on and you need to stop them. It's great to mismatch to get them to stop in their tracks. Mismatching can also allow, if you have a team dynamic and someone's waffling away in the corner, if you mismatch or create that small break state, you're also able to allow to integrate or bring more people into the conversation. So as well as matching has its position, mismatching does too. Have a think about how you can use that. So I hope you've enjoyed watching or listening. Remember, give us a thumbs up, put a comment in the box, and obviously subscribe if you want more of this stuff. As well as catching me on YouTube, you can also catch me on iTunes on the podcast. You can find me on Facebook, you can find me on Instagram and on Twitter. So let's connect. Bye for now.